All right, day 77. Miles and I are out for our Sunday long run. This is one of my favorite trails. I love it up here. Just giving Miles a little water break. First kind of fresh water we've come on. We're on the Slate Rock Pilot Cove loop here. It's a wet one. Phone said that probably shouldn't get water until, or rain until, excuse me one sec. Here we go. Hey buddy. So 1 o'clock, but here we are. I brought rain gear just in case. We're just gradually making our way around this loop. The road is gated 1206. That runs straight through Pisgah from Mills River to Pink Beds over by the Cradle of Forestry. I'm kind of in the middle of it. So I ran from the gate, ran up Laurel Mountain, which is a nice steady climb. I just came down. I am about 1,900 feet of climbing. Let's see, what mile am I at? I am at, good lord, so many screens. Why is it not showing the distance? There we are. 8 1/3. So just over 8 miles in, 1,900 feet of climbing. It was just gradual, really nice, runnable grade. It's not overly technical. Got this awesome creek down to my right. I love this trail. This is another one of my favorites. With the gate closed, it's hard to get over here. Really had to reserve it for, you know, long run efforts. Got a late start this morning. Slept in a little bit, which felt great. But then when I woke up, I was just really stiff. So it took me a little while to kind of wake the body up, move around a little bit, and then pack this up and got us going. Rain's not too bad. I threw everything in Ziplocs so it wouldn't get wet. And this pack, the Raid Light pack, is actually water resistant, which is cool, but I didn't want to test the validity of that and have wet gear, so I threw a buff, some gloves, and my rain jacket in kind of a gallon Ziploc. And then my phone, I threw in a Ziploc, brought my Garmin, my Mini InReach, just because we're out here by ourselves and we're behind a closed gate. I do have my phone, obviously. Even the GoPro is, you know, waterproof. I threw that in the bag too. So everything's nice and dry. A lot of those rocks are cool, like that. It's pretty, it's hard to see for you guys, but they're really neat up here. I got a picture that I'll post on Instagram of like this little kind of rock cove we went by earlier. I'll put that on Instagram later. I've kind of enjoyed just taking some cool pictures on the run and just posting without a hashtag or comment, just, you know, a moment from my run that I enjoyed the view or enjoyed whatever was around me. So anyhow, been taking in calories about every half hour, just kind of based off of how I'm feeling. Been eating Scratch, the chews, the raspberry ones I really like. The temperature is actually pretty nice. Got a little colder up higher. As I said, I'm dropping back down now, so it's warming back up. But the wind was picking up, but here we are in kind of a valley, so we're kind of shielded from the wind right now. Also, probably could have been the system moving in, but not so bad. Like I said, I got the right gear. As long as you have the right gear, it's definitely fine. I've been listening to I think it's called The Mindful Runner by Gary Dudney. He has some good stories. It's just about how to engage the mind and how to be okay with, the pains of running, like the fatigue of running, like just being okay with the legs getting fatigued, you feeling tired, those moments where you just feel weak. I mean, gosh, he was describing stories, and so many memories just flooded in my mind. I've gotten 2 messages lately. One of my athletes, Tori Greaves, she got into CCC, part of the UTMB series, based off of her racing. She bypassed the lottery, as well as Canyon Woodard, who won the Cruel Jewel last year in a new course record time. I'm super excited for both of them. So I kind of thought back to, Gary was describing Cruel Jewel. He was running it, and coming to the point where he was just cold and wet and tired, and should he go on? And I think we've all been there. Just, you're exasperated, energy levels are low, it's dark, you've been fighting through the fatigue for hours, you just want to sleep, you want to be warm, dry if you've been wet forever. Oh my gosh. I can think back to so many stories, and I mean, UTMB, when my quads were just done, I had nothing left in my running legs. All I could do was hike. But like I did, and I finished. It's amazing what the human body is capable of. He had a great quote: "There is no winning without the will to train." It was a famous quote from a Kenyan marathoner, and I may have missaid the quote, but something to that effect. And it's not that we're all after trying to win. It's not my goal or aspiration of Bigfoot. Most of us, we just want to finish, and that's definitely my goal for Bigfoot, is just to finish. But we've got to have the will to get out here. Like, this was one of those mornings, like I said, body was just, cranky, tired, fatigued. I got this storm moving in on us. All these factors. But, I want to run Bigfoot. I want to finish. That's my goal. So here I am. And these videos have been helping keep me accountable, get me out here. Miles, he helps me. He looks at me like, "Are we going out today?" So it's just finding the motivation some days to get out there. I thought about a route that I would look forward to doing, and this one came instantly to mind. And so here we are. It's good in my build. It's not too long, not too much vert. That's the other thing I have to remind myself. Yesterday, I did an hour run and went nice and easy, but I tell you, I really wanted to go back out last night and do another hour. but I have to remember what I just went through, you know, the fatigue that I just went through, and you know where I'm at in my training. I didn't need another hour. I didn't need that fatigue, and you know, today's a long run, so the focus was on time on my feet today. So just have to remind myself every now and again, you know, it's still 7 months away. You know, I'm gonna have to take a down cycle, recover a bit. So I'll do a build here, recover, probably after one of the brute runs. I'll take a little recovery and then do my final build to Bigfoot. So, you know, that would look like probably 3 more months in this build, and then a break. You know, probably 2 weeks, just a little time off and some easy running, and then build back to Bigfoot. That's kind of my idea, the way I envision training. I mentioned yesterday I plan on doing a fartlek this week. Really think I need to kind of do a little bit of speed, get that back in my system. And after listening to 80-20, you know, perhaps some of my, or you know, most of my easy runs, my conversational pace runs, my normal runs, if you will, not my recovery runs, but just my daily run, perhaps those are too slow. Perhaps I'm keeping my heart rate too low. So I'm gonna try to get my heart rate up a little bit more, kind of zone 3. You know, typically I've been zone 2, just trying to train easy, but I think I'm just training a little bit too slow. Like, now that my body's starting to feel better, that is, and I gotta just wait and see, you know, see how my body does. Try a run at what they term an 80-20 ventilatory threshold, which is up to 78% of maximum heart rate. So for me, that'd be about 136, 137. So I'm gonna try just doing some runs at that threshold. Again, you know, my focus really isn't on vert right now. Just gaining back my fitness and getting my legs under me. Even though I want to do these brute runs, you know, if I get my fitness up, I should be able to, you know, still get through them. So got a few things I'm going to try to implement back in my training. You know, a few weeks here of just kind of some fartlek and, you know, some shorter intervals, maybe some out and back runs, and then probably go into kind of a high intensity max VO2 phase for maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Definitely don't want to do one of the brute courses during that time. You know, during the high intensity phase, you really don't want to boost volume. If you're focused on quality, like the intervals, you can't focus on volume. You want to keep the volume pretty level. You don't want to try to increase too much. It's just a recipe for fatigue and possibly injury. So, got to keep that in mind as well. You good, buddy? So anyway, that's kind of what I envision for like the next 2 months. And see where I'm at. Perhaps I'll do the 3 weeks, and then the 4th week, that will give me a shot at doing one of the routes. I gotta sit down with my long-term plan, kind of look at that, And that would give me another 4 weeks, 5 weeks of this block. And with that, I could do a second course, knock out a second one if I'm feeling recovered and good. And then recover, build back, hit a third brute course in my build up to Bigfoot. At least that's kind of what I envision. So we'll see how things go, how fitness builds and all that. But just felt good today. You know, the other day I felt good climbing up Yellow Gap Road. Today it was good. Just kind of found a good climbing gear and let myself just enjoy the run and the climb. You know, kind of took my mind off things, listening to the book. Love this little water chute here. It's really cool. So pretty down there. Such a cool spot here. See if I can wipe off the lens. There we go. Oh, there's a better look. That's cool. Kind of like a little water slide. Look at these mushrooms here. These are wild. All right, onward. A little confluence here coming off the mountain. Whee! That's cool. Yeah, it's pretty. You good, bud? You okay? I gotta suck down some water myself. Man, those mushrooms are everywhere right now. Just saw some more of those red mushrooms. Blowdowns haven't been too bad. You know, with the gate closed, I would have suspected these trails to have been in worse shape. I mean, you can see there are some, but not too bad, all things considered. There was some snow up high, a little bit left. Not much, just like if you saw the video the other day of the dusting, there's still some, but not much. And you know, potentially with this rain and the warmer weather, I suspect that might be gone today. So kind of a strange weather at the moment. Got a little bit of sun and rain. Man, so strange with the weather. Oh my gosh, how cold it's been. Today it's so mild. This back and forth weather is just nuts. Wow, look at that guy. It's one of those red mushrooms. It's crazy. All right. Man, look how big they get. I wonder what these are. It's crazy. I mean, here's for, so you can see, I mean, my hand's, you know, it's much bigger than my hand. That's crazy. What am I doing, Miles? All right, off we go. So this will pop out and we'll be back on 1206 and just take this back down, or well, back up and over the gap to the car. Nice little lollipop. But this pack has been working out great. I put the bottle back in the front. You know, one of the first runs that I tried with the bottle in the front. Perhaps I just didn't have enough weight in the back, or perhaps I just didn't have it tightened enough, or maybe both. But today, you know, I put the body bottle in the front. I've got one in the back for reserve, but it's not bouncing. It's much better. You know, I've got some good weight in the pack today. Not full capacity because I don't have the bladder in it yet. Good job, Miles. But I got my poles in the bag. You know, I guess true test will come when I put the bladder full back there with 2 body bottles and, you know, my mandatory gear. I'm getting there. I think it's good to add a little bit of weight at a time. That way you don't do too much to the back and build up the strength to carry that capacity. Love all these little creeks that you cross. Trying to think of what to do for the next podcast episode. I've got some guests lined up, but they're not this week for this week's episode. And this week is my 100th episode. Kind of like to do something for a 100th episode. I mean, I know it's just another number, but it's a pretty cool benchmark number. So, anyhow. Thinking on that. Another cool spot. Man, you can hear the water beating on the rock. It's cool. Almost out of here. It's kind of great using these trails because I haven't seen a soul. It's been so quiet and peaceful. Maybe I'll see somebody on the road. Usually I see like a cyclist riding through, gravel grinding, but yeah, it's been so great. It's just the boy and I. Good job, Miles. Yeah. Been thinking about what shoes to use for Bigfoot, and I really am enjoying these lone peaks. I think they're the perfect amount of cushioning and protection for me, based on what I like. So I think that's the route I'll take. Got another little rain shower here. Yep, this is the end. See the road. Got a few miles left to the car. Maybe 5 miles to the car, I think. Ooh, the rain's really starting to come down. All right. All right, Miles. Well, Miles and I are going to gravel grind back to the car. So we shall see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining me for day 77. 11 weeks in the books. Good long run. One last shot. I think that's Bradley Creek. Runs off. Man, there's that red mushrooms again. It's so funny. It's just a cool spot to run. Real lucky to have this. All right, guys. That's it for me today. Have a great one.